Hi there! My most recent art supply purchase is this set of 6 assorted portrait colors by QoR in collaboration with Cavanaugh. You've probably heard of QoR paints before. They are very vibrant watercolors, also quite expensive, and made with an own binder called aerosol. They are well known for spreading a lot with water, which is why I've actually avoided them before, because I figured my very controlled style of painting would not work too well with them. However, Jackson's Art Supplies had a sale on watercolors and these were quite a steal, so I got the portrait set for myself and an urban sketching set by QoR for my mom for Mother's Day. Now the packaging is amazing actually, because it explains how to mix these paints and gives quite a few recommended color mixes by Ali and how she is using them in her own work. The paints that are included are Payne's Grey, Ultramarine Turquoise, Sap Green, Parylene Crimson, Pyrrole Orange and Nickel Azo Yellow. You can see that there's an example of an ear here and she has labeled which paints she used where and what kind of mixes she used. Specifically, she uses Payne's Grey for the darkest value of the portrait, Ultramarine Turquoise as an underpainting or for cool sunlight on flesh tones, Sap Green with Parylene Crimson to mix browns, or Sap Green mixed with Nickel Azo Yellow for blonde hair, Parylene Crimson for deep reds, Pyrrole Orange for the glow of light when it passes through lighter areas of the skin, and she mixes Nickel Azo Yellow with Pyrrole Orange for bright fair skin tones. There's a blurb about the artist here. I didn't know her before, but I also live under a rock. I will link her Instagram below so that you can check out her beautiful work. You can see more examples of her paintings on the left side, and Ali has explained that this palette can be used to paint a range of light to dark complexions. On the back side of the packaging you can see a swatch of these paints again. I'm not very adventurous with my color mixing and I would not have chosen some of these for portraits, so I found the packaging with its color explanations super helpful. But I also saw later that QoR has videos on their website by Ali on how to mix these colors, as well as a swatch chart. So this is the tin that you get. The lid is not connected to the bottom side and the tubes are kind of just hanging in there or not. And you get a little pamphlet which includes all of QoR's color range. Now the tubes are labeled with the name of the color in, I guess it's English and French, the series number, a light fastness rating, if they're staining or not, if they're opaque or not, as well as the pigment number. I will briefly show the set for my mom because I found the comparison interesting. I got the mini urban sketching set for her, and despite including the same amount of paints, it's quite a bit smaller. Now the urban sketching set includes half pans instead of tubes, so it's a lot more compact. This set is essentially half the size of the portrait colors set, and the lid is actually connected to the bottom so that you have a nice little tin, and I think this will be helpful when sketching on the go. Initially I was a bit sad that I did not get a tin where the lid is connected to the bottom, but then I realized in a studio setting it's actually much more helpful that I can split the two and I can just use the lid as a mixing palette. I don't have a lot of space on my desk, so that is actually super helpful. Initially I thought the paints in the portrait set would be too vibrant until I put them side by side with the urban sketching set and realized that one is even brighter. Like I said, I thought some of these choices were unusual, so I made a mixing chart. This shows you a bunch of 2 color mixes. I mixed the more pigmented versions on the bottom left side and versions with more water on the top right side. I'm using my Hahnemühle 100% cotton sketchbook for this. Now Ali likes to use the Nickel Azo Yellow and Pyrrole Orange, this one here, for the base of lighter skin tones. And I think the Pyrrole Orange and Perylene Crimson will also work well, especially for cheeks. Now the sap green is not something I would have chosen, but it seems to mix quite a range of browns, both lighter and darker versions. I was surprised by how many greys I can mix with this set, both very soft and light and very dark shades. Of course, I wanted to put these to the test, so I sketched out a portrait of a young man on the right side. Specifically, I wanted to paint someone with blonde hair because Ali mentioned that the Nickel Azo Yellow and Sap Green mix a nice blonde tone. Admittedly, I chose a reference image that I knew would work well with this palette and where the shadows already kind of look blue, so I knew where to put which colors. Like I said, I had some preconceived notions about these paints, especially because of the properties, but these were an absolute delight to work with. Paints are wonderfully luminous and transparent. They layer so well and just look very beautiful. I also never felt that they were out of control. And while the color selection felt unfamiliar to me, it was a lot of fun and really helped me step out of my comfort zone. I also felt like I gained a lot of confidence when painting portraits with a bit more unusual colors, or at least unusual for me. The only thing I didn't like is that one splotch of sap green that I put down near his chin. But it would probably look fine if I had only added more later, because now it looks a bit out of place. I do prefer using a pre-mixed brown so that I don't need to mix it myself, but the sap green and Perylene Crimson combination is quite nice. The only thing that I kinda disagree with is the choice of sap green and Nickel Azo Yellow for blonde hair. I think that one looks slightly too green. There is a yellow ochre by White Nights, which is my preferred choice for blonde hair. It is this one here in my own significantly less adventurous portrait palette. But I don't know if the White Nights yellow ochre would vibe too well with the rest of the core set, so I'd probably stick with Ali's yellow. Anyway, I will gladly admit that I was wrong about these paints. If you're interested in painting portraits, especially colorful ones, then this set is a really great point to start, especially because it also comes with explanations and advice on the packaging. I had a lot of fun with this set. It was much more versatile than I thought it would be, and I also used it recently to paint our newborn. If you end up getting this set, then I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.